Hi there, Dr. John McPhee here, and I'm so excited because tomorrow, being June 1st, is day one of our squat challenge, running for the whole month of June. Now, if you're unsure of what I'm talking about, click the link over here. That's going to take you back to the previous video, which outlines the whole thing. Okay? So, how do we squat? That's what the purpose of this video is for. Is we want to go through the proper mechanics of squatting and then help you to determine where your starting point is. Okay? So we're going to go through that right now. Here's what I want you to focus on. I'm going to go through the full movement and then we'll break it down. Okay? So first thing is getting our feet planted. Usually we plant our feet somewhere between hip and shoulder width. Okay? So the wider you go, the easier it is to get deep, but ultimately we want to keep it within that range. Second thing is, I want you to point your toes out just slightly. Okay, so just about 5 degrees, really not too much. We don't want to get any duck feet. Okay, so if you notice that your feet are going out like a duck, then you're going to correct. That means that that's a break in the pattern. Okay, a fault in the pattern. So feet are planted. The next thing is creating some tension. So contracting the abdominals. We're going to actually contract the glutes so that you've got nice tension through here. We're preparing to squat. Okay, so tension here, tension in the glutes. And then the first movement is, I'm going to drop the bum back. So I'm going to drop my bum back. I'm keeping my chest up. Okay? And you'll notice as soon as I do that, my knees start to go out. Okay? That's what I want you to do. So the knees go out. We don't want the knees to come in. Okay? That's very, not a healthy pattern, not a healthy movement. So knees go out. And then as I come down, note my spine stays up. Okay? It stays straight. What a lot of you may do is fall forward, okay? And we don't want to do that. We want to keep our spine up. So if that happens, if you start to lean forward, that's your stopping point. You can't go any lower. You're breaking the pattern. So I'm going to keep going. So I drop down. I get to 90. Awesome. Spine still straight. Weight is on my heels. Okay. I'm going to drop down. Now I can come all the way down into the resting position. Very comfortable for me. I can spend 10, 15 minutes here, no problems. I've been working on it for a long time. For most of you, this is probably not a position that you're comfortable in and one that you can actually maintain. So we're going to break it down into several different steps. So the very first step is going to be, I want you to grab some sort of a bench or a chair or even a low table, and we're going to use this as our target. Okay? And so I'm going to get you to stand right in front, and we're going to take our feet, again, they're going to be just beyond hip width, so they're going to be even go as wide as shoulder width. Your toes can be pointing out about 5 degrees, no more than that. And the first thing we're going to do, again, I want you to always get used to this. So start with your abdominals are contracted, your glutes are contracted, so there's lots of tension through here. We're preparing to move. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down so that my bum touches. So I'm going to come down until my bum touches, and then I'm going to come back up. Okay? So a sit to stand, just dropping down and coming back up. Okay, so that's scale number one. That's the first step, is just getting into that position. Now for you, if that's where you're starting, you're going to just do 3 to 5 second holds down in that position. Okay, and then come back up. So for the day one, for tomorrow, you're going to be accumulating up to a minute in that position. So it would be something like squatting down, holding 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come back up. Scale number 2 is going to be just increasing the depth. And I'm going to do the same thing. This time I'm only going to touch. Okay, so I'm not going to actually sit down at all. So I reset. I've got my abs tight, my glutes tight. I'm going to drop down. And I'm just going to touch here. I'm going to hold again. Okay, so holding it for as long as you feel comfortable, and then come back up. The next step is to get rid of the target altogether. So just like I did. So we're going to set here, you're going to drop down. You can go as low as you can without leaning forward. So as soon as you start leaning forward, that's your stop point. So you're just going to drop down, hold that. 15 seconds would be ideal. So you're going to hold for somewhere between 10 and 15 seconds, and then come back up. and accumulate that time. So for tomorrow, that would be 4 reps at 15 seconds. The fourth scale, and getting into the deeper position, is we're actually going to just try and get below 90 degrees. So dropping down, keeping the chest up, the bum's back, my knees are driving out, my glutes are firing, and if we can get a little bit lower, that's great. Okay? And again, you're just going to hold this as long as you can. You're going to accumulate whatever the predetermined time is for that day. Okay? Now, as you're getting a bit lower, what I want you to focus on is not tucking the bum down. So I'll demonstrate. So as I go down, one of the faults is to round the low back. Okay, so we want to keep that the low back nice and straight, so that even as I come down a little bit lower, we're not getting, it's called butt winking. So we don't get any of the butt winking. It's staying nice and straight, and then you're able to hold that position. Okay, accumulating the time, predetermined time for that day. For those of you who are really comfortable in that downward position in the low squat, we're actually going to advance this a little bit. We're going to get you guys to do some weight shifting. Okay, so this is more advanced. We're going to get you to go down into that position. Now, all you're going to do is just start to shift your weight from side to side. Okay? Pretty simple. Do that, accumulate your time. If that's really easy, then you can actually start to move around in this position. So duck walking. So again, keeping the chest up, body's up, and we're just going to move around. Okay, so I can travel around walking like a duck, and that's going to be a nice functional deep squat exercise. Okay, so I hope that helped you to clarify your starting point. Which phase are you starting in? And really, over the course of the 30 days, a great goal would be to move from one phase to the next. Okay? Now, to help you do that, our resident mobility specialist, Coach Rick at CrossFit 613, him and I put together a video series that's going to help you to break through the most common barriers that hold you back from getting low in your squat. Okay, so look out for those. Video number 1 will come out tomorrow, where we'll uncover the most common limiter to get low, and also we're going to go through some key exercises that are going to help you to break through that barrier. Okay, and then on subsequent Mondays, look out for the remaining videos, and by the end of those 30 days, not only are you going to have built up a bunch of stamina and strength and hopefully improved your squat depth, but you're also going to get exposed to some great exercises that you can continue to implement and continue to improve, right? So that over the next 6 months, you can really work on getting low and comfortable in that deep squat position. Keep us posted on how things go. Post below this video, or you can go onto our Facebook page, the Wellness Group Facebook page, and put your comments there. Let us know. How's it going? Are you running into some challenges? Have you broken through? Have you had any wins to report? Okay? And we'd love to hear that. We'll certainly comment back. And until then, make it a great day.